Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Elizabeth and today I'm going to do a makeup look inspired by fall. A lot of you requested this makeup. I actually put up a poll on my Instagram and you guys decided that this is what you guys wanted to see, and that's exactly what I did. I did this makeup considering a lot of people of different backgrounds with different skin colors and people who might be a little bit afraid of color, so I kind of stayed in the safe zone, but I incorporated a lot of warm browns and caramel colors and just kind of pumpkin spice everything, because fall is my favorite season of the year. I really love pumpkin spice lattes and anything that involves fall, so I was very happy to do this. This is a very sophisticated look. I really like it, and it's not difficult to do. You just gotta follow the steps. If you guys like this makeup look, leave me a thumbs up down below and make sure to subscribe to my channel. We are growing, guys. I'm so excited about this. If you guys have any requests or comments, go ahead and leave them down below. If you like makeup looks like this one, go ahead and give it a thumbs up down here. Make sure to follow me on social media. These are my links right here. And if you guys are ready to learn how to do this makeup look, let's get started. Stop it. You're so annoying. Stop it. If you guys hear my dog licking his snout, I'm so sorry. Before we get started, pumpkin spice latte. Hey, happy first day of fall. Man, I needed that today. Yeah, let's get started. I have already done my base, so I already have foundation, concealer, powder, my brows, because those take quite some time if I am not really kind of in a hurry. And I am actually going to use two different palettes that actually I've had them both for quite some time and I really love them both, and my favorite thing about them is that they're both permanent. So one of them is the Kat Von D Eye Contour palette. The other one is the Too Faced Chocolate Bar, or the original one. I'm going to use them both just because I have them both, but you don't necessarily have to. I'm going to grab this big paddle brush and I'm going to grab the Kat Von D palette. The color I'm going to use is this one right here. And I'm going to apply this all over my eyelids because I want a nice base. Next, I'm gonna grab a big fluffy brush like this one. Sorry, my brushes are dirty. I didn't wash them before this video. And the shade I'm going to grab is this one right here, which is the really large sort of peachy tone. And I'm just gonna go above my crease and really buff it in. And you know, I'm gonna grab a little bit of this too, and I'm gonna apply it underneath my eye. I'm gonna come to my Too Faced Chocolate Bar. I'm gonna grab another fluffy brush, but this one is a little bit smaller, and I'm gonna go into this shade right here, which I think it's peanut butter if I remember correctly. The numbers are not printed on the palette, so I'm not entirely sure. And I'm gonna go kind of on the crease directly and then blend it with the color right above. And it's gonna turn a little bit more brown, but not by a whole lot. I really like these tones because they're nice and caramelly. What do you say, caramel or caramel? I always say caramel. I am doing windshield wiper motions, and I am bringing it all the way back and forth like so, even if I'm doing my little circles. I'm going back to my Kat Von D and I'm grabbing this like medium brown right here. And I'm using a sort of a fluffy brush that's super dirty, sorry. And it kind of has more of a paddle shape rather than a round shape. This brush is very similar to a MAC 217, where it's fluffy but it's kind of flat at the same time. And I'm gonna use this to buff that color on my outer corner and just kind of drag it back and forth like so. Be careful with the Kat Von D palette because it's super pigmented. So a little bit goes a long way. Just grab a little bit of color at a time and just place it where you want the color. And if you want to build up, go ahead. Just take your time. I'm doing a second layer of this color. And I'm just buffing it in back and forth. And I'm just literally doing the outer corner of my eye. I'm not doing anything else. And it's gonna be kind of messy, don't worry, because we're gonna go down there and kind of buff things out, make it really smoky. Right now that I said smoky, a lot of people think that smoky eyes means just black and just kind of smoked out. Smoky is not an eye color. Smoky is a technique that you use to diffuse color. I'm gonna actually, with the same brush, very, very carefully pinch the brush a little bit, and I'm gonna go under the outer third of my lower lash line and just sort of buff color right there. When you apply your eyeshadow, try to be super precise and kind of soft. Do a soft touch so that there's not powder everywhere. So now I'm gonna grab a pencil brush, which is also very dirty. I apologize. I should have washed my brushes before this tutorial. The color I'm gonna use is the one that's right next to the one that we're just using right now. So this chocolate brown. As you go up in deeper and darker shades, be very careful to not start swiping kind of crazy. You kind of want to dab your brush onto your eye, and let me demonstrate. So I'm still gonna apply color onto my outer third, and I'm just gonna apply the color. I'm not swiping like this, I'm dabbing the color. And what this does is it places the pigment directly onto the eyelid and prevents it from kind of flying everywhere. So if you are the kind of person that gets a lot of fallout, it might be your application and not so much the eyeshadow. If you do get a little bit of fallout like I just did, don't worry about it, just leave it there and we'll handle it in a bit. Same technique, same brush. I'm gonna go to the lower lash line. And with this, I'm gonna go like very small sweeping motions. Again, nothing harsh. You don't wanna do this. You wanna just kind of dab your eyeshadow right there. And for this, I do have a little bit of fallout. It's fine. I'm not scared of fallout. Just grab a big fluffy brush that has nothing on it and just kind of sweep it. And you're done. No big deal. I'm gonna go back to my 217 brush dupe, and only on the edges of this dark brown, I'm gonna dab my brush to kind of soften the color and blend it with the other colors underneath and above it. And then for my lower lash line, I'm gonna sweep it back and forth very slowly in small little steps. And there you have it. That's the difference between this and this. I don't know if you guys can tell, this is a little bit more kind of fluffed out. If you feel like it's too brown or it just doesn't look right, you can go back to your peanut butter shade. I want to say that's peanut butter, but I'm not even entirely sure. But that shade below the olive green is a really good one for blending colors. And so just go back and forth. And what it'll do is it will soften the blend. Do it underneath as well. Ta-da! I'm gonna go back to my chocolate bar palette, and this is the color we were using. We're gonna use the one right next to it, which is this kind of gosh, like a softer caramel, but it has a little bit of sheen to it, and I want to apply that onto my eyelid. And I'm just grabbing a flat brush for that. I just want my eyeshadow look to be kind of, I don't know, fall-y? Is that a word? Autumny? Fall-y? Anyway. And I'm applying this directly onto my eyelid. a little too light. I didn't want it to be this light. Whoa, my lighting just changed. There's clouds outside. I'm sorry, guys. And now I'm gonna go back to that 217 dupe, and I'm going to dab the edges in between that darkness and the color we just applied. And again, if you have a little bit of fallout like I do right here, just sweep it. No big deal. I am looking a little crazy, more than usual, but I think I like it. I just feel like it's a little too light. Should I go in with a darker color? What the heck, let's do it. So I'm gonna go in with the brown underneath. So we were right here, we've been right here, now we're gonna go over here. And I'm gonna actually apply this on top of this other color to kind of make it more like a chocolatey kind of color. See, that's a little more muted, and it's more like what I was going for. I really like this. And I'm gonna grab a little bit of brown and just kind of dab it right here. So I don't want to lose my transition in between those two. Just nice and soft. I'm not going for anything crazy. I think that is it for the eyes. It's just really smoked out outside. I'm gonna go do black liquid liner, mascara, eyelashes, and I will be right back to finish the rest of the face. Okay, and I'm back. Now let's go ahead and do the contour. Why am I singing? That's not a good look. Okay, so for my contour blush, I am actually going to use this new palette that I have. I actually kind of want to make a video about it because I think you guys would like it. But this is the collaboration of Emily Noel here on YouTube and Makeup Revolution. They came up with a couple palettes. One of them is the Needs and the other one is the Wants. I got the Needs because this is easy for travel. I really like the color story that they got going on here. For now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the contour color as well as the blush color on the rest of my face, just because it's just easy, compact. It's not a whole lot of products, it's just right here. I'm just going to go ahead and grab my big kabuki brush, which you guys have seen me use this brush quite a bit as of late. I just really like it. It's nice, big and fluffy. It's flat. It gets the job done. Covers surface really quickly, etc, etc. I'm gonna go ahead and go in with the contour color in this palette. You can use whatever contour you want. Make sure to feel your bone, like the hollowness. Do not go into the area where your teeth or your molars are. You kind of want to go where the hair begins and swoop down. Kind of start here and then as though you're sweeping towards your mouth, but you're gonna stop right where your brow kind of peaks at the top and just go back and forth, and then you see that line right there. That's a good thing. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side like so. I only apply product on one side of the brush, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip my brush and I'm gonna sweep in an upwards motion like so. And this is how I blend my contour. And then with the side that doesn't have any product, I just blend back and forth like this. And up and down. Do not drag below that line. If you feel like it's still too harsh, just grab your densest face brush and just really buff it in like a really elongated oval, and it'll soften it out. See the difference? Same brush, a little bit more contour or bronzer, whatever you want to call it. In my case, I have a really large forehead and it's very square, so I like to apply bronzer right here to kind of give my face more of an oval shape. It's kind of an optical illusion in a way. If you have a shorter forehead, then you don't need to do this step. I grab a little bit more and I'm gonna apply it to the bottom portion of my jawline and my neck. and then it creates that line. You can drag it as slow as you want and just blend everything out. That's entirely up to you, or how low your dresses come. I'm also going to do my nose. You can choose to do your nose or not. That's entirely up to you. I feel like my nose just kind of gets lost in my face. So I do this. I don't always do it great, but I do try. And I start at the beginning of my brow, and I don't go to the side of my nose. I kind of go up on top of the bridge a little bit. So it kind of connects my brow to the top of my nostril, like so. Just a straight line. On camera, this looks awful, you guys. I don't know why. It just makes the contrast really, really harsh. But I promise you, in person, it doesn't, I mean, I can see it, but it doesn't look nearly as dark as it does on camera. Like this. Then I'm gonna grab just a little tiny bit more, and I'm gonna go right here to the middle of my nose. Like that. Now I'm gonna go ahead and highlight. I know I haven't applied blush, but that's because I don't like to do my blush before my highlight, because I want my highlight to blend with my blush a little bit. For the highlight, I'm actually going to use the Artist Couture Diamond Glow Powder. This is in Illuminati. This is one of my favorites. It's very, very strong and very super flashy. I like that kind of highlight, but if you don't, feel free to use whatever you want. In this step, I always try to do it with a dual fiber brush, just because that's what looks more natural. Okay, so I'm gonna put this on the bridge of my nose, and just a little tiny bit on the tip of my nose, and I blend it with my finger like so. And I grab a little bit more powder, and you don't have to do this step. I just like to do it because my chin is a little short, so I feel like this elongates it just a touch. And then I do my Cupid's bow. I also like to do my inner corner, but for this I do like to spray the powder that's on the brush. Once my bronzer, contour, highlight, all that is done, now I come in with my blush, because I like how it blends everything together. And for this I use kind of like a fluffy angled brush. This one is by It Cosmetics. I really like it. So what I do is I kind of wedge this in between both the highlight and the bronzer, and I just do one big circle and I drag it back. One big circle to blend, and then drag it back for color. Just kind of stamp it a little bit too, and that helps a lot with the blending. Everything's officially done. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my setting spray and spray my whole face. Let's do this. Okay, this looks really good. I really like it. And the last thing to do is lips. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go ahead and do my lips, and I'm using a Jordana Rock and Rose lip liner. This is super easy because it's a retractable pencil, and I really like that it's like a nice warm nude. And I'm just gonna grab a NYX, what is it called? Butter lipstick. This is just a nude one. And very, very softly, I'm going to blend. Here it is, the completed look. I feel very chic. I'm also very happy because this dress I have not been able to wear for the past 5 years or so, and it finally fit again, so that's always great. I really like this look. It's really nice and warm. I feel that this is the kind of makeup look that looks very flattering on a lot of different people, a lot of different skin tones, and it's also very adjustable to your needs. They are colors that just about everybody has. So I really like it. It's simple makeup, but it's really glam, and you don't need a whole lot to pull it off. I know that I used really big palettes, but if you saw, I didn't use that very many colors. So if you have something that's from the drugstore that you can replicate this with, absolutely go ahead and do so. It's just the perfect fall look. I think you guys will really like it. I really appreciate you guys stopping by.